Yes, I do. The Augustinian church near our house was the architectural witness of the union between Carlos and me. As I mentioned earlier, I left my maternal grandmother's house that morning to meet my future husband, dressed in pink like a princess. The ceremony was to be held at 12 noon. Carlos and I wished my father had played the organ at our wedding. We even got to talk about it with him. But the incident weeks ago made everything disappear like dust in the wind. I had even selected the piece that should be played when I entered. It was the music used in the movie The Sound of Music at Maria's wedding. A magnificent song on the organ. None of that could be. I settled as I have all my life when my dreams are shattered, trusting and always hoping that a new one, the next one, survives without deteriorating. Our friend Antonio from Chevere offered to drive his car to take my family and me to church. He put bows on the doors and hung cans that they dragged in the back, a very popular custom at weddings that put a smile on my lips. Although I had always wanted to get married in white, when I started looking for my wedding dress in several shops in Zaragoza, one caught my attention in a very special way. And it was not white, but pink, a very soft pink. And the price was perfect for my small budget those days. The shop is located on Calle Don Jaime in Zaragoza and has always specialized in wedding and gala dresses. So I decided to go in and try on some models, although my choice was already more than decided. I tried on two very nice white models, so as not to radically discard that color without seeing it in me first. But they didn't convince me. When I put the pink on my body and saw myself, I had no doubts, and the decision was made. I never regretted my choice. Going back to the wedding day, it was a sunny and beautiful October 20th, although the day before was completely different, full of rain, cold, and wind. I was a little worried when I saw that day because my dress was sleeveless and I didn't want a wedding in the pouring rain and cold. But the good Lord took great care to prepare a beautiful day to say I do to us. I arrived at the church on time, although tradition says that the bride must be a little late. But in my case, it was the groom who was delayed, and not a little, almost half an hour. His whole family came from San Sebastian, including the priest who will marry us, a good friend of ours and of Carlos's parents. Joaquin was his name. And since it was delayed, everything was turned upside down. And there I was, at the door of the church, with my mother and brother, as well as my grandmother and other guests, waiting, receiving questions half jokingly, half seriously. What if he doesn't come? And I very composed answered, well, I'll go home then. But in the end, they arrived, Carlos dissolving in apologies, and we finally entered the church, not without another small mishap occurring before that. My mother-in-law suffered a fall on the steps of the church after tripping, carrying a gift in her hand. I think it broke because it was made of glass. Sometimes I think that all those signs were an omen for something that will come years later. But against all odds and misfortune, Carlos and I became husband and wife, while the shadow of my father's absence hung over my family and me and over my yes, I do. How to explain that although I loved my husband very much then, I was not madly in love. Determined to share my life with him? Yes, absolutely. But my wedding was also a beautiful escape from a life full of contempt, screaming, beatings, and fear. A life that my mother could not escape or resign herself to it. hoping that one day everything will change, the demons will dispossess my father's soul, and they could be happy again. That will never happen. After the ceremony, and after receiving the usual rain of rice at the exit and posing for the obligatory photos, we went to have an aperitif and the meal that we have scheduled in a cafeteria restaurant called Camp Frank, in which the owners received us and treated us with care, as they were friends of my new husband, Carlos. Despite all the setbacks, it was a wonderful day. Bittersweet, yes, but full of magic too. Nowadays, and to put a comical note in this story, I wonder how I was able to hold on those heels for so many hours. I suppose that the fact that I was 21 years old, the emotion, and other factors contributed to this being possible. Although at the end of the day, my feet didn't agree very much with that. After saying goodbye to the guests, we went to my grandmother's house, where I changed my clothes, picked up my suitcase, and after leaving the bridal bouquet with my mother, I said goodbye to start my honeymoon and my new life with my husband. That same evening, Carlos and I went in our special Seat 127 to Albarracin, a beautiful town in Teruel, where we will spend our first night as a married couple in a hotel that is in a beautiful building with centuries of history, of which another friend of Carlos was the director, of course. Having made his career in tourism and worked in several hotels for a long time now, my husband had acquaintances and friends in various parts of Spain, always ready to do a favor. After a good dinner with his friend, we were given the keys to our room, which, as a wedding joke, had 2 small beds instead of 1 bridal bed. We laughed a lot, but we didn't care. We settled into one of the small beds, enjoying our affection and our new life together. Before the sun was up, due to the discomfort, lack of sleep, and the excitement of our trip, we got up and decided to resume the road to Alicante. Not before giving a tremendous scare to the man who was doing the night shift and whom we caught sleeping at reception. Where Carlos will meet my family there, and where we will spend some wonderful days, staying in a great hotel in the city, the Hotel Maya, of which I remember good views, magnificent food, nights and days of love and hope. They were days of great happiness and delicious freedom that allowed me to breathe and be myself. After our brief honeymoon, it was time to return to what will be our home for the time being and to find a job to walk our new path together.